Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and, well, that's pretty much it. So, let's go!
That was great, man. That was great. So many intros. We're doing so many intros tonight. Yes, this is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we break down, or not break, dude, this is the wrong episode. Shit. This is where we listen to,
Almost
we do a different band, different artist every week, and we listen to all of their records, rank them from worst to best, also give our biggest banger from each of them if we have one. So this week we are doing Soundgarden. We're going to be doing their 6 full-length records, their EP, and, you know, just for shits and gigs, we're going to throw in Audioslave, the 3 Audioslave records, because we can do whatever we want, and we didn't want to listen to Chris Cornell solo records. So, yeah, that's the intro. So, also, you know, social media-wise, go to Asinine Radio on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, anywhere. That's our handle everywhere. Discord, we have a server on there. If you want to join that, let us know. We'll send you the link. We have a phone number. You can call us, leave us a voicemail, send us a text. The phone number is 503-893-5307. And if you did not already know, my name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. Now, Jeff, let's jump right into our rankings. So, like I said, 6 Soundgarden records, full lengths, their first EP, and the 3 Audioslaves. Because we can do it, because we can do whatever we want.
It's true.
So what do you got? Go.
All right, here's hopefully the last time that I piss a lot of people off, but Super Unknown, their 4th album, 1994.
That's their worst?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Wow.
And this is hailed as like kind of like their best. Like Bad Motorfinger is like their best, but then don't do, but like Super Unknown was just as good, and like, fuck off. This one was meh. It drags on for so fucking long, and the song was bled together in a way that I didn't even know if up was down or left was right or whatever. I don't know. Cornell was the only one who kept it interesting here. It's over an hour, dude, of the same fucking song, except for Black Hole Sun. Black Hole Sun's kind of like the outlier here, and I don't know why you hate that song. That song's a fucking dope song, dude. It's a solid song. And now that I got like my psychedelic rock goggles on, my goggles, it's even doper. It's even more dopers. So
okay,
dude,
so that's your biggest banger then from Super
Black Hole songs for sure. Super Unknown, man. I listened to this one twice too because I
really
after listening to it and I ranked it so low, and I was looking at it I was like, holy fuck, people think this is like kind of their best. Hold on a second. Hold on there, dude. So I listened to it again in a different format. So I listened to this one with earphones on, dude. And that's called doing your research, brother. That's what I did. And I still just don't. I don't like this one at all, to be honest.
Oh shit. Okay, that is the worst one. So okay, so the worst record, Soundgarden record for me is Super Unknown as well.
Whoa!
1994. This record is just straight up fucking boring, man.
You read that it was like super crazy popular, right?
Yeah, it has like perfect ratings from so many sources. I don't get it.
What the fuck?
I mean, obviously Cornell's voice is fucking. I mean, he has an amazing voice. He's incredible, but the songs are boring ballads, and this comes from like a newfound balladman, you know. So yeah, no, they're just the songs are just straight up boring. They're not good at ballads. They're really not at all. They're great at rock and roll, but not good at ballads. And this entire record is ballad outside of like 2 songs. Or maybe 3 songs. Yeah, this album fucking sucks. It's like it's over an hour long. Come on, dude. You're not that great to make an album that long. You're not Billy Corgan over here. You're not the Smashing Pumpkins.
You don't need making a
this long of a record.
3-piece rock opera with each one is an hour long. I know. Sure.
So yeah, Super Unknown. I have no banger off this one. I don't think this is a good record at all.
Thank God, dude. Honestly, I thought like I was missing something. I really did.
It's just straight boring, man.
It's so boring.
Black Hole Sun. I've never ever liked that song, And I really tried to. I wanted to like it this week, or this last 2 weeks, but it's a dumb song, man. Really dumb.
Well, I mean, it's dumb for sure. It's silly, but it's still a good song.
How about that?
Okay.
So what do you got next?
Next is Revelations. This is a subset. So I'm gonna do like my Audio Slave and EP ranking real quick, and then I'll get into like the main ranking. So we only ranking six albums, but we have little subsects, right?
Yeah.
So Revelations, third album by Audio Slave, the rock super gloop, like a fish, gloop. This was solid. I think smooth was like the best word that I thought of. A lot of these songs were just smooth. Like they were smooth, they blended well. It's fine, nothing crazy. It's fine. So whatever. Don't care about it. But my number 5 is King Animal, their last album, or Soundgarden's last animal.
Last animal.
Fucking shit. Soundgarden's last album. King Animal. Their 6th album, fucking a millennial after their 5th album. Now isn't that long? Like 15 years, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Ish, give or take, whatever.
Yeah,
but pretty solid album. Very aggressive, like Soundgarden sound. Nothing different or unique from this era of the band. But this was just a really good album. And I thought that these guys aren't like reinventing the wheel Soundgarden wise, but it's always fun to hear, like when the Chili Peppers did Unlimited Love, it's fun to hear them just kind of do like their iconic sound, just in maybe like an old timey way, like because they're kind of old now, so they can't rock as hard, they can't scream as long, but it's still a solid album. But there was a demo for the song Black Saturday that was really fucking good, and it was a more stripped down acoustic. And I didn't know it existed. I would not have listened to it, but I was listening to it in the car, and I was just in traffic longer than I hoped I would be. And so then like the Spotify playlist kept going into the demo version. And I was like, holy fuck, this is really good because it's a very country sound to it. It's got a good country vibe, dude. And Cornell does like a good country. Cornell can do a country vibe really, really well. And he doesn't really ever do it.
I see that. Yeah.
Maybe on his solo albums he did. I don't know. I didn't listen to him. Did not care to.
Yeah, he has like 6 solo records. I don't care at all.
If he had like 1 or 2, I would have got down, but I'm not doing fucking 6 of them. Nope.
Yeah. Silly boy talk.
Yeah. So King Animal, number 5.
King Animal. Your number 5. Okay. So my number 5 is Down on the Upside, 5th record from 1996. This is really, it's not that much different from Super Unknown to me. I mean, honestly, they could be interchangeable. I don't care about this record. Maybe I think really the only reason why I put this one a little bit higher is that it does have a banger, and that's Ty Cobb.
Yeah, boy.
That's a great fast rock and roll song, man. That is a fucking banger. But most of them are just bad ballads, dude. Yeah, I don't care about Down on the Upside. I think it's forgettable. It's much like every other one of the records. It's way too fucking long. So yeah, Down on the Upside is my number 5 at this point. So what do you got for 4? Or my subset?
My number 4 is Down on the Upside. And the only reason, so King Animal, I'm going to go back a little because you haven't mentioned King Animal yet. King Animal is like that Sabbath 13 record. It's good. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's fine. But like, come on, dude. This is a cover band doing Sabbath song, but just so happens to be Sabbath. King Animal is a Soundgarden cover band just happening to be Soundgarden. But Down on the Upside, I think, is better because of Ty Cobb. That's it. That's
one song.
That is the only reason why Down on the Upside beat out King Animal, because of Ty Cobb. That song is a fucking banger. Absolute banger.
That's a playlistable song.
That's a fucking banger. I was surprised.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. So that is your number 4. My so this is where we kind of get into the subsets. So these are 2 Audio Slave records. So Out of Exile and Revelations, their 2nd and 3rd record. I mean, I really like the first Audio Slave record. I feel like the 2nd and 3rd record, they didn't really do anything different or exciting. There's some cool moments, from Tom Morello, but otherwise, the 2nd and 3rd Audio Slave records are forgettable. Really, they're forgettable. Cornell doesn't really do anything exciting at all. I don't know. I really have nothing good or overly bad to say about either of them. I have no banger from Revelations. I do have a banger off of Out of Exile, the second record. It's Drown Me Slowly. This is just like a weirdly fast song for anything Rage or Audioslave do. So it's more upbeat. It's faster. The riff is really rad. The solo is wacky and weird. And Timmy C in the back just ripping it up on that bass line is killer. It's fucking killer. So yeah, Out of Exile, Revelations sit in this spot. So my actual number 4 is King Animal from 2012. No banger off this one. I kind of see where you're going with the whole, this is like a Soundgarden cover band. It's not necessary, really. It's not bad, but it's whatever. I mean, it does have the bad ballads like, later Soundgarden does. Nothing too rock and roll, but it doesn't have that 90s grunge sound or style that was just so prevalent in the 90s. I don't even know it's not the Jarl. It's just, I can't even explain it. It's missing the 90s grunge style. But yeah, King Animal, my number 4. So what do you got for number 3?
So this is a subset here. Audioslave. Audioslave. What? This record's not good, dude. It's not that great. It's not terrible, but it's whatevers. Yeah. Like we know how cool and great the guys from Rage can write because we've done the Rage Against the Pod thing. This is a musical step down for them for sure. This is a toned down version of the crazy potential they had in Rage. And now we just have like when you go to a bar and there's a band that says, oh yeah, it's a live karaoke. And then you just like pick through a handful of songs that the band can play and you sing. This is what this is fucking like. This is, you take Chris Cornell out of here and put any singer in here. And it's the same fucking thing. They're not writing songs around Chris Cornell. Chris Cornell's not incorporating his unique style into the Rage Against the Machine writing style. This is just a Rage band meets Chris Cornell. There's nothing like original about this. It's just, I don't know. It seems forced and just dumb. So I don't like it. The song Like a Stone, super solid. I like it. Great melody.
I like that song.
Dude, solid groove.
Oh,
but
man, that's a great song.
I listened to this one twice also because we sell at the record store and I was like, maybe I do want to buy this one, but nah. Yeah.
How much are you selling it for?
I don't remember.
Okay.
What am I supposed to fucking do? Memorize every single price point?
Well, you fucking work there. It's your job.
So I'm supposed to know that's what, you know what? Like, I told this guy at the bar like a week ago, I was like, yeah, we're at a record store. He's like, oh, do you have this? And there's some obscure fucking like jazz artist. And I was like, I don't know. But I know we don't have that like as far as new vinyl is concerned. We might have that in like our $3 bins. And he said, well, do you have this? And it's another obscure jazz artist. Like, dude, I don't know. He said, how do you not know? I'm like, do we have hundreds and hundreds per week, like in and out? Like, how am I supposed to fucking memorize every single artist that we have there? Fuck off. That's not the way it works.
Oh man, that one really struck a nerve with you. I like it.
Yeah,
I like
Audioslave is Audioslave. It's not as good as people think it is. It's not as good as you think it is. That's fucking for damn sure. I'll tell you that much right now. I don't even think about it.
All right, so then what's your actual number 3?
Oh, sorry. I was about to sip my beer like I was done talking. Out of Exile is my number subset 2 here, I guess. 3.
Okay. Oh yeah, you haven't even done the other.
I don't. The only reason why I think this one is better than their first is because I think this one, crazy. They actually wrote songs together. They actually said, hey, we are not Rage Against the Machine. We are not Soundgarden. We are Audioslave. Let's write songs as Audioslave would write them. I don't think this record overall is better than their first one because I think their first one is kind of better. But this one just sounds like a band that is trying to not be two bands combined into one. This is a different entity. So I give them a little bit of respect for that concept. But How You Remind Me, that's my favorite Audioslave song. That is the only Audioslave song that I fucking love. I love that song.
Is it a cover of the Nickelback song?
Yes.
This is How You Remind Me?
Look at this photograph. How you remind me. It's all the same song.
Eat it. Yeah, it is. It is.
And then my actual number 3, sorry. Just took a sip of my beer like I was done. Louder Than Love, their second album. This is their major label debut with Terry Date as a producer who will later go on to produce some fucking historically phenomenal albums, which is really cool.
Deftones and stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's what you pull out from Terry Date's repertoire. Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
There's some really great stuffs on here. Actually, there were some serious jams and even some like faster, aggressive songs. Sometimes Cornell got a little too whiny though, and like that kind of tapered it off for me. But overall, this was a damn solid album, and I really like A Louder Than Love. I would buy A Louder Than Love on the vinyls if I seen it for like a good price.
Okay, what's a good price? $15, $20, $85?
The price depends on the
Whether
pressing.
Or not it's sealed.
If it's a new pressing, $25, no, I'm not gonna buy it. If it's an OG pressing for $30, maybe.
Okay, that's fair.
Maybe. I'm all about that chase.
You are. I get it.
I'm all about that
totally
bass. About that bass. Dude,
there we go. We still haven't done Meghan Trainor.
I know.
We've still not done her
good.
on the pod. Sometime soon, maybe. Who knows? Okay, so my number 3. I've done all my. Okay, so this is got 2 subsets here. This is actually the last of them.
Thank God.
So first of all, Audio Slave, first record. This one is. I really like this record. I do understand what you mean, where it's like 2 separate bands and they just kind of didn't know what they were doing. They just kind of like Cornell did his thing, Rage did their thing, and then they just hoped for the best by throwing it together. I get it, but there's still some great moments, great parts on here. Gasoline, I love that song. Like a Stone too. That is a great ballad. It's a really, really good and unique sounding ballad. Cochise is another. It's a big banger. Show Me How to Live, another big banger. I think with Audio Slave and this record, I think a lot of it comes down to nostalgia. You know, this is 2003 when it came out, and I went to the very first Audio Slave concert ever by mistake. So that mixed with, you know, other people in my life with this album, there's a shit ton of nostalgia with this record. And I really like it. I think, you know, from, you know, a production standpoint, sonically, this record is amazing too. But yeah, Audio Slave is here.
Do you want to hear the Audio Slave story? But I guess we can talk about it when you talk about Soundgarden, because you saw Chris Cornell live.
I have seen, yeah. I guess, we'll get into that, yeah, we'll do that. That would make more sense. And then also, also here is the Screaming Life EP from Soundgarden. So this is technically my 3.5, and this is their first EP from 1987. It's good. This is really, really good, but it doesn't hit as hard as Ultra Mega, because Ultra Mega is on a whole nother level. This doesn't have the quirkiness of that just yet. So some of the songs fall kind of flat, but it's still really good. It's a great first EP, honestly. My banger is Tears to Forget. It's just a straight up wild song. And this is the only thing from this EP that I feel like could have fit on to Ultra Mega. But Screaming Life EP, it's good. I would honestly get this on vinyl. I would also get the Audio Slave record on vinyl, if it was at a decent price. But, Screaming Life EP, this is good. I like it a lot. So this is where that sits. So then my proper number 3 is our album of the week, Bad Motorfinger.
Whoa.
So let's go into your number 2. What do you got for number 2?
Number 2. I always say true 2. I say that every time. True 2.5 is Screaming Life EP. I mean, there's a lot of yelling. Like Cornell does a lot of fucking yelling. And there's a lot of cool riffage. The songs are more punk rock inspired and drive faster than later Soundgarden stuffs. I get it. It's cool. Sub Pop Rock City was my favorite song. It's kind of like an indie rock grunge jam song. I dug that. Mm-hmm. That was cool. But my 2 is Ultra Mega OK, their first album. Very riff driven. Not a lot of... So I did this one after Pearl Jam's 10. I started with Pearl Jam's 10 just because, I don't know. That was the one I was most curious about. Yeah. And so after that was over, I said, okay, in Ultra Mega OK, there's not a lot of stupid, pointless guitar work like in Pearl Jam 10. So that's great. Cornell has a great voice, and overall, I think this could have dug even deeper into the metal realm if they wanted to, because this is a bunch of guys that like grew up listening to metal that made a sort of like new genre, that were pioneers in the new genre, because they're so early. They're so early in the 80s. Yeah, they weren't like the 91 band, 92 band. They're not early 80s, but mid to late 80s. And they do that metal sound really, really well. but they stick to the grunge thing here, which made for a solid album because again, they're kind of like digging a groove into the digging a groove, dude, into the grunge realm. And Cornell wails sometimes, and it's fucking amazing. And on one song, he hits like 3 octaves during one of the wails, and he just goes up and up and up and up. And it's like, oh my God, like, what are you fucking doing? How is it even possible for a band that nobody gives a shit about, an era that nobody really gives a shit about, for a genre that nobody gives a shit about? Unreal.
You're saying so many wrong things right there.
Dude, nobody fucking cares about this genre in the late 80s. Nobody fucking cares about this. Come on.
Okay. I thought you just meant in general. Okay.
No, not in the late 80s. Nobody gives a shit about this genre in the late 80s. No way.
We're still in Poison, Motley Crue territory.
Yeah, seriously.
Bon
But
Jovi.
there's also a lot of not in specifically Soundgarden, but in grunge in general. There's a lot of you can tell these guys grew up listening to or idolized some of the glam metal bands from the mid 80s and are taking those metal stuffs to the grunge scene, but like bringing them back to like early 70s metal stuff. So there's a lot of like weird like genre jumping that they're pulling from. But I don't know. I like this album a lot. The guitars are super aggressive, and sometimes they just explode out of nowhere. They're just playing a riff, and then they just jump into it. Very, very punk kind of. I like it. Their cover of Smokestack Lightning, like who the fuck, dude? Like Smokestack Lightning is an amazing, amazing fucking blues song. And to cover that song, like you have to be based in like the blues realm. And these guys, they have blues elements to a lot of their songs, but they never done any kind of blues song. And even this one isn't like a blues song. They Soundgarden it up. And it sounds like you can, if you know Smokestack Lightning, you know it's Smokestack Lightning. But if you don't know it's an original like blues jam, you probably would never have like guessed it was a blues song because they fucking slay it. And this album was amazing. This album was really good.
It is great. It's fantastic. So my number 2 is Louder Than Love, second record from 1989. This one, it's not nearly as crazy as the first one. They kind of took a more conventional songwriting approach, I feel, to this one. But goddamn, it's fucking heavy. It's metal. It's like doom metal, stoner, kind of stoner rock, but just very, very heavy riffs, heavy beats. A lot of fuzz on this record. This is I was really, really taken aback by this one. I didn't expect it really, honestly, the first 2 records, I did not expect either of those because they're just so wildly different from one another. And then so even more different from what you hear later on in the band with Super Unknown and Black Hole Sun and all that shit. Like the first 2 records stand out. I mean, they're like the black sheep of their whole discography. But I think they're fantastic. They really, really are great. Louder Than Love. My banger is Full on Kevin's Mom. It's a fast song, fucking rock and roll. Gun is also another really good one too. That's a really great song. It's slow. It's actually, I think it's probably one of the slowest songs on the record, but it's extremely heavy. It reminds me a lot of Pantera. The tone, just the style of it it's very.
That's Terry Date, dude.
Yeah.
He did Cowboys.
He did, and he's done like he's done a lot of heavy stuff with Deftones too. Like, I know you don't agree, but Deftones do have some heavier hitting riffs, heavier hitting songs.
They do. And
I feel like Terry Date, he could be a reason why you get those heavier hitting songs.
For sure.
So I don't know. It's crazy to me how so many bands after these last 2 weeks, how so many bands have been inspired by Soundgarden. Like I'm hearing so much in modern bands that I'm hearing in this old Soundgarden stuff, like late 80s Soundgarden, not Super Unknown shit. So yeah, Louder Than Love is my number 2. Okay. So number 1 is obviously Bad Motorfinger. Right?
Bad Motorfinger, baby, number 1.
All right. So Ultra Omega, their debut record from 1988, is my favorite. This one blew me away. Absolutely blew me away. This doesn't sound like anything they've ever done. And reading more about this one, they had signed it. Well, they had signed to Sub Pop, and then were essentially given a bunch of money. So they were essentially, Sub Pop was a legitimate record label, so they had a little bit more money. So they suggested a producer for Soundgarden, and they didn't really want that producer. They wanted somebody who was familiar with the Seattle sound, and this guy wasn't. forgot his name right now.
They were on
And that's why
SST, dude. They're on fucking
that's
Flags
right. They were on
label.
SST. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're totally right. They
So
did
it's a
Sub Pop
punk
with Louder Than
influenced.
Love. Yes, you're right. And this one's wacky. Ultra Mega is a fucking wacky record,
wild.
man. It's all over the place. It really, really is all over the place. I love how unconventional sounding it is. Really interesting, like song structures too. Some of it doesn't really make sense, but it's still exciting. And it's funny because when I listened to this, I thought, man, these guys sound like they're having a blast making it. But then you read interviews, especially with Cornell, he's like, I don't like this record. He's not a fan of this record at all. And I thought, this is the only time you guys ever sounded like you had fun in your whole life. My banger off this one is Mood for Trouble. This has some amazing bass playing on it, and it reminds me of a lot of Zeppelin, a really rockin' good song, Zeppelin inspired. And I think that's a banger of a song, banger of a record. 100% I'm gonna get this on vinyl.
Oh,
It's a great record. And also Chris Cornell doesn't sound like Chris Cornell. He doesn't have that he still has a great voice on this record, but he doesn't have that wail, that particular like whine that you said.
Yeah.
He doesn't have it on this record, and I love it.
he only does it.
that.
He does it like once, maybe twice, and it's so like rare that he does it on this one. And then when he does it, it like complements the song rather than takes over,
Yep.
and that's really cool.
And that's another thing, songwriting wise, we're going to talk about that on Bad Motorfinger. So I won't bring it up now, but stay tuned for that. All right. Do we have anything else on the rankings?
That's it. That's all.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Listen to the main episode because we are getting into Bad Motorfinger, obviously from Soundgarden. So thank you all for listening, and that's it. That's all.
Eddie Vedder.